Hi everyone, and welcome to the second masterclass of the New York Piano Society for the 24-25 season. My name is Natasha Bromsky. I am the... I need instructions. Okay, there you go. All right. Testing. Hi everyone, and welcome. Let's try this again, right? Okay, welcome to the second masterclass of the 24-25 New York Piano Society season. I'm so excited to present my colleague, the esteemed pianist, amazing virtuoso, Maria Asteriadou. She will be leading the class today. I am Natasha Poromsky. I am the artistic director of your New York Piano Society. Please do not forget that we do have a concert next Sunday, October 6th at 2 p.m. Two of the members who are performing today will be actually performing what they are playing for Maria. On Sunday, kids come absolutely free. You just have to call the box office. All the information is on our website, on our Instagram, and without much further or any ado, and I would love to invite Maria, and thank you again to Klavierhaus for hosting these wonderful concerts. You can come and see their gorgeous pianos. Today we have a Fazioli, and there are a ton of absolutely amazing pianos. Actually, one of my pianos is being restored by Klavierhaus. They're on 11th Avenue between 54th and 55th. They host a lot of wonderful events, and we're always grateful to them, to Sujatri Reisinger and to James Wu. Maria, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Natasha, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure. This is my second time being here and working with some wonderful pianists living here in New York. So I'm really looking forward to today. And thank you, Klavierhaus, for hosting us and for letting us use your wonderful pianos. Giancarlo, I guess you're on. Thank you. What a great performance. Thank you for... Oh, he just played the Beethoven Rondo a Capriccio in G major. Now, this piece, actually, Beethoven, do you know how Beethoven titled the piece? No, that wasn't Beethoven, actually. Who Beethoven... Yes, alla Ungherese. Actually, Beethoven titled the piece Rondo alla Ungherese, which, now, there is no word actually Ungherese. So what they think, it could be a combination of Cingarese, so gypsy, and Ungherese, which is Hungarian. So it's actually in the style of a Hungarian gypsy dance. But somebody else, do you know who actually titled the piece Rage Over a Lost Penny? No? Actually, it was a good friend of his, Schindler, who he was very close and he knew exactly what happened during the time that Beethoven was writing this piece. Would you like to say the story? I know we talked about it before.
So I think that a maid was cleaning the apartment and then Beethoven couldn't find...
Parenthesis, Beethoven was a very messy person, very, very messy. Sort of how his music was as well when he was writing it. Like you would see papers all over and just flying and just messy. And he had a maid who would come and clean his apartment and also bring him food. And many times the maid would bring him food and the food would stay there for days. I don't know what Beethoven would eat, but he would just not pay attention to it. So one day, Beethoven was working on this piece and the maid came to clean. And then Beethoven had a favorite penny, a golden penny. And after that, he couldn't find it and he was really angry. He thought the maid took it. And so he talked to his friend, oh, I'm going to fire this maid. I don't want her anymore because she took my golden penny. And then Schindler actually is the one who said, oh, we're going to name this piece, Rage Over a Lost Penny. But so it has some rage in it, right? But it has also a lot of dancing and fun in it. And you're doing a wonderful job playing the piece. I made a couple of notes just to bring out maybe a little bit more the character of the piece, as well as talk a little bit about performance practices. Depends on where we are. And I believe you're playing at Merkin next on a couple of Sundays. There are two things we're going to concentrate on. One is pedaling, okay? So because of course later in his life, this is, by the way, do you know, is this an early piece or is this a late piece? It's an early piece published late. So he wasn't yet in his crazy mode when he would put the pedal for like measures after measures. Like his middle period, you have Beethoven Concerto No. 3 second movement. He's experimenting with putting pedal for half a page, not changing it. The Waldstein last movement, again, the whole page of the last movement is one pedaling. He wasn't there yet, so we don't want to rush him with the pedaling, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about pedaling. Incidentally, I wanted to ask you, did you look at any different edition except for this one?
I mean, I had someone on IMSLB, but this is exactly the one that...
On IMSLB, yeah, I don't think IMSLB actually. I would with Beethoven, I mean, with the classics, I would definitely try to get the Handler, or... You're right. Just because there are certain things, and I mean, I was looking actually on my score there, but there are not many things that they're different. I will point out some stuff. Interesting enough, here they give you all suggestions about pedaling. So we're going to talk about that. And the other thing is the accents. Because here, especially because it's a Hungarian theme, so the accents are very important. And how do we approach them? And are they all the same? Okay. Sometimes you have an accent that's sort of a start of a phrase. Sometimes you have an accent where it's an agogic accent. The direction leads you to that accent. So we have to differentiate those things. What I would like to do is, for example, when you start, so that's the first kind of direction, right? And it's in piano, so obviously we're not going to like hit it really hard. So what do we need to do to really emphasize this? Because obviously that's a directional accent, right? You just want the speed of the attack to be a little faster. And then after that, treat it like a two-note phrase. So don't accent also the D. So after the beginning, so you give the pulse, but don't give an accent on the D. Okay? Be very careful with balance, and that's where also the pedaling comes with the left hand. You want to have very good balance of your core, but you don't want, especially if you put the pedal down, for example, stand up for a sec, I wouldn't do more than that. Then it opens and then it loses the clarity of your right hand. So a little bit more careful with the pedal and the balance of the left hand. So let's try with those things. Yeah, now the first note it's the pulse, it's the downbeat. So again, think of a gypsy dance. Good, but then very, very even rhythm. Okay, so, but direction, but super, super steady eighth note. Good, now can you not make a crescendo? Good, and can we put that in a little firmer attack of the note rather? It's not a loose staccato, it's more pop, 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 pum, is where we're going. Pop, pop, pop. Good, don't rush the G. Pop, 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 pop. Nice. Pop, 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 pop. No accent on the D. The D comes after the pum. Yes, that's it. T, ra, pa, 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 pa. Nice. Ya, pa, pam. Excellent. Much, much better. Now, an afterthought, right? Sort of a little vibrato on the mi. So don't accent again this E the same way. That was excellent. I would connect pam. So really good character, like we're strong, we're dancing, we know what we want. So we want that kind of steadiness, but with direction. Don't make crescendos when he doesn't write, but give the direction. It'll be more exciting. Okay? One more time from the beginning. Now sing. Pa-pam. Yes, nice. Now crescendo. Pa-pa, yeah. Maybe here, instead of holding the pedal and the whole thing, stand up for a sec. Instead of whole, so I would maybe, or two, change it one, maybe, just to make it less like bulky there, you know what I mean? Give the crescendo more into the trill, the harmony, but clarity. Try that. And very steady. You're a conductor with all of Beethoven's music. What did Beethoven think when he was writing music? How should we know? Lost penny, probably, right? He always had in mind the orchestra. He loved writing for orchestra, right? And obviously you hear a lot of instruments. That's an early work, so it's a little different. But what you think about orchestra is conductor, right? So if it's not steady, you're just either a bad orchestra or a bad conductor. You don't want either. Okay? So I would keep it very steady. And the rhythmic integrity kind of gives the excitement in this piece as well. Yeah? Yeah. Yes! Now fine. Remember the D is not because after the direction is to A. Yes. Tiaram, tiram, and yararam. Right? Try that. I'm not sure I'm crazy about that pedaling again. And I would urge you to pump, 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 because then what happened, you lose pump, 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 pump. You want to hear maybe just a little bit there instead of kind of keeps them together, you lose the accent of the, again of the, I would say just the first one, but then pop, pop. So we can hear. But the right hand, you want every note, not, but everything. Okay, do me a favor, play each one. I want to hear every note. Now shape. Good, and now play it one slowly like that without pedal. This is your conducting. Yes, and really nice, because sometimes, sometimes you was angry, and sometimes you thought about the people he loved, and we get a little bit looser, a little bit nicer here. I think that was much better, so think about it when you practice it. A, 16th notes, all ya-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, right? And more strong rhythmically, don't cover it, don't camouflage it with too much pedal. Let's go a little bit here. Actually, play that one more time so we can do that. Agogic accent, right? Nice. Good. That's it. Good, okay. A couple of things. So really think of that transition from E to, that was very nice, but and again, be careful, not too much pedal here. Otherwise, we're going to lose this thing. Okay? So, but otherwise, very good. Let's move on a little bit in the interest of time. Can I hear from here? Good. Can I hear just left hand? Good. The eighth note, the last eighth note, very rhythmic. So the eighth beat again has to be very rhythmic. Remember, you have the conductor there. Your left hand is your conductor, pretty much. So just make sure that don't play. You know what I mean? Try that. Actually, play just left. I would lift up the pedal a bit sooner. So after a quarter beat, lift it up. So lift it up. That's it. Excellent. Now both hands. Good. Now can I hear just the right hand without pedal, but in tempo? Good. So what do we want to practice? Right? Transitions. Definitely. And you want to give it a chance to practice actually without pedaling and in tempo, because then we hear everything. We don't want to cover with makeup a dirty face. We want to clean our face. Then put a little bit of makeup, right? Excellent. Good. I play one more time. When you come here, this is like your bass. Again, think of orchestra. So I would almost more detached going into the E flat. So one more time, go to number 2 and keep going. But don't freak out. All you need to do bam. Just think musically what makes sense. And definitely not pedal there. You don't want to push. Yes. Now, more difference. Let the keys lift you up. Not at all, because it's going to. So, and again, your left hand with the agogic accents, yeah? That was very nice transition. Excellent. Can we move here? Good. Can you prick more the notes, kind of bite rather the notes here? So we can really hear these notes. Can you try that? Just this passage. Yeah, right hand first, and then we're going to. And make sure they all have the same articulation. Good. Now give direction. Bum, bum, bum. Nice. Good. Now just left hand. Same thing. You want. Bum, 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 bum. So very quick release, but stay close to the note. Yes. Because it gives you rhythmic integrity and rhythmic excitement also. Even though piano, just staccato, just make sure you do that both hands now. Nice. Same thing. I didn't hear because you have to hear the harmony, the E major here. Yes. You might want to give more sustaining here. Try that. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I would change maybe here. That's it. Go to 2. Good, 2. Now we want to hear the 7. But she is playful. So mainly what you think is first violin, second violin here, right? So they kind of exchange, make sure they really go well into each other with that viola line underneath. Don't forget the viola line. Wait, is there a crescendo? But the biting of the sound, no? Okay, try it. Absolutely no crescendo. But then forte piano is important. And how do we do the sudden thing? What we would say about before is the speed of the attack. So if you do really quickly attack into the key and release, it's going to give just the wanted forte piano. But stay piano, it will be much more exciting. Giving also the articulation correctly and the rhythmic. Right? Try that. Don't connect the C, the BA. Yes. Nice. Now crescendo. The transition here, I would make it a little bit more bigger crescendo, because you're getting again into an enthusiastic Hungarian dance, right? So was that here. Maybe go from here. Nice. Good. I want to hear left hand once. So this. Try to have a little bit less on your thumb. Can you play it just left hand here? Yeah, so. But keep the kind of non-legato. That's why I say also not too much pedal, because you lose this kind of articulation. Yes, that's it. We hear it more. That's it. Beautiful. Good. Let's move. Maybe here, the A flat. Now, pianissimo. And again, but very steady. So you want super, super steady. Nice. And keep the right hand. I would go more Decisively, yes, definitely. Because already your major forte going to really forte and really, and your right hand, of course. So make sure you really, definitely not pedal here. Only pedal where you have the accents. Yes, can go from there. So give more the beginning. That's it. Good. I need to hear your left hand here alone and without pedal. And I would suggest practice with that with metronome. Because we're going to hear every note and shape. Yes. And I can tell you're tense. You know how? Because your other hand is like this. So put the other hand here. Go slowly, practice it non-legato. But I would definitely practice because it's a very difficult passage. And fantastic job. I mean, it's great. My other suggestion is here, definitely show the fortissimo here. So you want to, it will be more majestic, this whole area, more maestoso. But when you come here, you want a real fortissimo. Yes, one last thing I want to say. It's about, I heard beautifully your right hand, but not your left hand. Not the, okay, what should we say? What instrument is that? What? Viola? Bassoon? You don't like the bassoon? Definitely, especially in the beginning. We want sort of like a canon. Can I hear that? Again, it's too muffled with the pedal. Play it once without pedal. Once, but hold that. But make sure this EF is very clear. If you put the pedal here, what we do, and it's not fair to the left hand because we don't have pedal here. So we hear very clearly this, and then we put the pedal here, and it doesn't sound the same, right? So play it once without the pedal, and then yeah. I know why he writes it, because he wants to connect B flat to C sharp, right? But you can do yeah. And you can put a little bit after the F, yeah? That's it. Excellent. I would definitely hear more right? Definitely this and how they lead to the next. There is always with Beethoven, I mean, he didn't per se write a melody, but there is always this rhythmic and harmonic direction that he always has, and motivic continuation. And that's what creates the direction, his music, right? Good, but fantastic job. Can't wait to hear it in 2 weeks. Yeah? Excellent.
Okay, so I'm only playing one passage in the first movement, Beethoven 7.
Only one passage? I guess that must be the passage.
It is the passage from the Beethoven violin, colloquially known as the Spring Sonata.
No, actually, this
It's not.
is number 7. It's C minor.
It's number 7. See, you got me all confused. Okay, it's
Because I
number
thought it was number 5.
So I thought I played that. It sounds familiar. Anyway, so this is Christian Poppel. He'll also be performing on next Sunday at 2 p.m. at Merkin, and this is a passage from the accompaniment to the first movement of that sonata.
passage.
That's the passage.
Okay. Yes, we'll try to make sense of this passage, even though. Do you want to tell people what movement is that from? And
This is the first movement of Beethoven's 7th Violin Sonata, Beethoven's 7th. First movement of Beethoven's 7th Violin Sonata. And this is the middle of the first movement. And yeah. So it's difficult for me to keep up with the violinist because I'm so tight.
Okay.
So that's a
Yeah, I was going to
historical
ask you
issue.
next, why did you choose this passage? And if this is the only passage that gives you problem with the sonata, you're good.
Yeah.
Because I know this is a very difficult piece.
Yeah. I think this is the major spot.
Fantastic. Have you rehearsed with a violinist yet?
Yes, yesterday.
Oh, great. And how did it go?
It went fairly well.
How was this passage?
It was tough. I wrote weak zone slow.
Okay. I think I know what the problem is, but would you mind playing it so I can really, one more time, so I can see your hands? Okay. What do you think is or where do you feel is the problem here? Left, right hand, together, coordination, or what?
Left is not leading, and then there's some rushing.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep up.
Good. Have you practiced the left hand alone?
Maybe not with intention.
Okay, it has to be with intention because like what we were talking about before with Giancarlo, with Beethoven, the rhythmic element is super important. Not that you cannot deviate, and by all means, I'm not saying that you have to always play metronomically. It's not about it. Actually, you probably really quickly will say the story. You know the story about Beethoven and the metronome. No? Okay, the metronome was invented during Beethoven's time. And he was super excited. He's like, oh, this is fantastic. I'm just going to order 1 million of them and give them to my students. And he actually did. And he got them in his house, a big package. And then he turned one metronome, first. He started practicing. And after 5 minutes, he's, Scheiße! And he throws the metronome on the floor and he never used it again. So it's not about being metronomic. It's about having the right kind of pulse. Yeah. And sort of what we're saying is about conducting yourself. So for me here, the left hand, it's important. So do me a favor and just also, the other thing is because it goes fast, and then we'll have to, of course, figure out the right hand on it, you have to prepare very quickly the next note. So let's take it to this tempo and just play for me left hand, but don't lose that conducting. Good, excellent. And when you do that, you want to shape it. So how do you shape that? For example, what do I mean with shape? So we play up to here, then F goes to E. Right? And then when you come here, it's always with music, is connections between notes. And when I say connections, I don't mean how they slur or connect together. Where does one note lead to what's next? So intervallic connections in Beethoven, right? So I saw that you memorized everything except for this. Okay, and how can we make it easy for ourselves? Because obviously you have the music in front of you, it's chamber music. Think of the leading tone. So play this C instead of thinking, and then it's like, I shouldn't miss those notes, right? Think like that. Bum, 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 bum. What's the relationship of those two notes? No? Of this. What is that? This is a leading tone to this. Leading tone to this. Bum, 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 bum. So if you think, because technique, a lot of technical difficulties have to do with how we think about them, right? If you think like that, oh, I got it almost. I missed one note, right? But if you think, bum, 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 it's very well organized in our brain because we know this is a leading tone to this. So play it once, you can go a little slower, but I want you to think those two notes and then those two notes, and then those two. Bum, 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 bum. Excellent. One more time. Bum, bum, bum. Fantastic. And now you'll never forget it, right? Because you know where you're going. We're going to work about that after. Now, we need to add our other hand, okay? Our right hand. So, of course, I suggest that you practice the left hand a couple of times so you get really comfortable. Now, let's play a little under tempo. Both hands together. But have the, stand up for a sec. Have the left hand leading. So, so make sure that your left hand really is steady as a rock, and then the right hand is is continuing, right, after that. Okay, let's see what happened here. That was very good. So, do we know our harmony here? So, what do we have? What is that harmony? I think it's good when we know harmony. What is that? I hear more of a dominant to the F minor. So if you know, try that, because we're leading on C, right? And almost like your left hand has to be like thing of Beethoven. You know, let's try that. Just play this. Again, don't go on. Good. Now, maybe have your hands a little bit more firm on the piano. Don't too many movements, because you don't have time also. Yes. Excellent, excellent. Let's combine. Before we go on, we need to combine. Good. And don't rush, don't think ahead. Stay in the moment. Okay? Because we need to get this well done. That was almost, but then you start thinking about the next one, and then you start rushing. We don't want that. Okay? Now let's go into here. Good. And now, can you play that? And then stop. So we can throw the C with a B, so we can shape. Also, another thing, if you think about one direction, practicing the one direction when we go up and down, it's easier for our hand, our mind, and everything to practice the one direction passage and then go on. So practice up to here, stop, make sure you get that, and then the C belongs to the B. Yeah. Let's try that. Remember. Good. Now let's go. And where are we here? I'll play it up here. Yeah, 7. What is 5 of C minor? It's such a simple harmonic thing. I mean, it's funny. Sometimes you see this Beethoven and you say, oh, here's very simple. We just have to know what we're doing. The way he put it together, I mean, genius, right? So, and if you know what you're doing, your hands will know what you're doing, and they're not going to go all over the place. You're not going to be lost in piano world, right? So let's go from here one more time. Stop here, then start on C, and then stop here. Wait, no, stop before the G. You know why? Bum, 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 bum. Because again, sol, do, right? Don't rush, it's okay. We have time. And give me a really good. Yes. Nice. Good. Now continue. Now the minute I said continue, you started rushing. Okay? Just play yum bum 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 bum. Yes. Bum bum bum. Si do fa sol re mi si do la sol. Wow. Fantastic. Let's go on. Oh, this is tricky. Why is that tricky? Mr. Beethoven doesn't like us. Because we played. And eventually our right hand will go ahead and the left hand will say, hello, I'm here, don't rush. So how do we practice that? Again, tell me what is the thing that gives you issues here that you don't like about?
Well, it's definitely rushing. There's no alignment between hands.
Why is there no alignment between hands?
Because I don't know the interval that's coming next.
Oh, now you're trying to think, okay, what was you say? Intervals. Why? Because like I said, the left hand, it's difficult for the left hand. Yeah. Okay? It's not easy, right? So we need to take our left hand, because if you play the right hand, it's easy. Yeah. Play the left hand. It's already slower. I have to practice it. What? It works for you, I think. Yes. Now, can I hear just the left hand? Good. What's your melody here? The G's, no. This G's. So, suggestion. Definitely practice like that. Practice as intervallic. So your hand knows, first of all, the position where you're going. So try that. Yeah, so practice in, exactly. And play the whole thing up to here. And one more time. But listen to your upper voice, because that's what, it's not on the beat, but that's what we hear, right? Good, now do this. Because sometimes, going, but very clear. Start piano. That's it. Don't slow down. Now, I want the two notes to be the same speed each time. So when you practice with rhythms, you don't want to slow down when it gets hard. Right? I'm exaggerating a bit, but you want to get that down. Go to the top. It's slow down here. Mi, fa. So you have to go faster. Not faster in the beat, quicker between the two notes. So I'll keep the beat. Go. Good. Now let's do. And make sure that always your octave here is very exactly together. You don't want this. Right? But arrive, yes. So if you need more time, so you can really think, make sure the upper notes are together, take more time, but do not sacrifice the speed here. Right? Go to the down. Good. Now you're going to do that a couple of times, and you're getting jazzy here. Start always from where you stop, and then start from the B flat. But feel direction, a little bit of. Yes, good. Now let's try a little bit under. Going. Go. Good. Now keep going. Good. Can you go a little faster into the second note? Like what it would have been. And put your left hand as your guide. Not your right hand, your left hand. Good. Now let's think. What's your tempo normally? Much more together. I need now crescendo. Now you're going to think of it musically. Nice. Good. Now this is whimsical. What is responsible for that? The middle notes. So guess how we practice it? Definitely the BD. I mean, that's what people hear. Nobody cares about the violin melody there. They care about how well you're going to play the pianistic element of that. And people say, oh, that pianist was great. So you practice that, but you want to make sure that those two notes are together. Yeah. And you can also do dum, ba, da, da, da. But make sure when you play this that your fingers play together. Try that. A little non-legato. I would use 2/4 maybe on the right hand. But play it a little more articulate. Quick release. Yep. Exactly. That's what it is. Pluck. Yeah. And you have to teach your fingers to do it very quickly after you. Yes, that's it. Good. Now play both hands. Yeah, exactly. But you have to do it with your left hand, not just the right hand. We tend to want to, even when we practice, we tend to want to practice the hand that will make us feel better. And that's the right hand, because it will come easier than the left hand. Usually that's the case. You will be a freak if your left hand is better, right? So we have to do the opposite. Now you were showing me.
Christian has a natural born advantage. He's left-handed.
I'm not sure. I asked many of my students. I don't know if that really helps in piano.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. I asked many of my students, like, what left-handed. You're left-handed. Why is your left hand worse than your right hand? I'm not sure it did that.
Well, I got elbow surgery.
Oh.
College,
Oh, wow.
Piano studies.
Really?
But because of it, it's metal.
Oh,
So
I have metal on my ankle.
Stronger arm.
Really? But what about this? Well, that's where we have to strengthen. So I would practice more left hand. But you want to make sure that, yes. And remember, stay close to it. Yes, exactly. And then you practice both hands, but you want to hear that very articulate sound, right? While the melody is, the violinist singing on top. So those are my suggestions. So take them or leave them. But yes, you always listen where you're going, what is happening harmonically. It's nice. I won't tell you analyze every note. But if it helps with the technique and knowing what you're doing, hey, why not? Yeah. Right? Excellent. Good luck. I'll be listening on Sunday to hear this. Who is going next?
Right? You guys decided Beethoven lumped together.
Beethoven. Oh, should we do that or should we have a break to scream out? It's up to you guys. Doesn't matter. Should we do scream up? Let's do scream up.
I'll try. Yeah.
You want me? I can. I'll turn.
No, because then you can. Okay.
Do you need it? You have it. Do you? Is that 4-score? Can I make notes on 4-score?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think I know how.
Oh, well, I don't.
Fantastic. It's like mine. Do you play the whole piece?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so I'm gonna play Scriabin's second piano sonata, the entire sonata. It's only 2 movements, so it's not like a classic 4-movement sonata.
What's your name?
My name's Tony.
Do you need a chair? No. Okay.
I'm sorry to stop you there. Probably was doing you a favor. No, it sounded fantastic. Really, really good job. And you obviously have thought about this piece a lot. We'll put it next to each other. How's that? Because I made some notes here. How long have you been working on that?
About 4 months.
Nice. Very difficult piece. And of course, in a way, I mean, one would think it starts with an andante movement. So one could think that's easier. Like, let's say we're playing in a concert, so we start, but it's not. It's sort of like when Beethoven wrote the Moonlight Sonata and he started with a slow movement. That's not necessarily the easiest movement to start with. So what I would like to talk a little about is the themes, the melodies, and the nuances, and how we're going to approach certain things to create. What kind of mood do you think he was thinking of? I mean, I believe there is a programmatic kind of element behind this sonata, right?
Yeah.
Smart. I didn't think of that.
Well, I think it's kind of on the ocean, just based on what I read about this piece and stuff. So on the ocean, it's quiet, but at the same time, kind of eerie, because it starts with a parallel fifth rather than like a conventional third or sixth. And that's kind of what it creates a different type of feeling. Yeah.
So the waves and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
it's actually, the thought was to be in somewhere around in the ocean,
Right.
and probably, and I believe probably in a southern country, since Scriabin was from north, right? Let's start from the beginning. What I want you to think more is about your first, actually 16th note, going in ba-bum, ba-dum, right? So we have this element, this rhythmic element, and then of course the ritenuto. So it's quite bizarre but beautiful. Beginning, for me, it's one of the most beloved sonatas. It's fantastic. But we really have to really go, free yourself and go into the keys, thinking, I'm going to play down here. So really create that sustaining of your right hand, and then really sing that, and then just bounce off the first G sharp. So it's nothing that should be exactly thought out. I have to play that and then a little less, but sort of like you're dropping a pencil and bounces off the first drop. So it has to be very natural on that. So let's do the very beginning. So sing more the D sharp, yeah, because that's a triplet. That's part of the triplet. So I would really go, really sing that. So and then. The other thing I would suggest, maybe press your pedal down, yeah, and now start. And now think of it as one phrase. One, that's it. Good, now wait. Don't stop the pedal too soon. Just give it a break right before you're going to start. So let it linger. And then it's a breath. So another wave. You know what I mean? Yeah. Really sing re, sol, sol, sol. Yes. Yes. Dreamy. It's a little too much. You're cutting my mood. I get into the mood and it's like, I wake up from the mood. Keep me in that mood, right? Wait. Now last minute. Good. Now, how can you combine things between those first two before he starts? Harmonically, so we have this, and then we have this, and this. So I want you in your ear to keep this for the continuation. And also don't play this the same. I would play them a little bit different. So sort of like settlement, more of a settlement there, right? So more diminuendo, a little more ritenuto, but definitely not the same. Yes, exactly. So one more time. Wait. Now breathe and go. Wait. And now. I have a question. Sometimes not playing the two hands together is a virtue, and sometimes not. I know with Chopin, romantic music, of course, we do that a lot. The question is, and you'll hear a lot of interpretations, do you want to not play the two hands together there?
Maybe just the last one.
Okay, let's try that. We can try that. But I would give more, because of the rhythmical element, definitely, I wouldn't play this, because it's already, it's a 16th note. So I would really press more into that to sustain the syncopated, but then ta-dum, right? And then T, definitely play. Otherwise, kind of, we swim too much. I mean, yes, it's ocean and everything, but we want to feel those waves naturally, not like create. No boats are around, creating more of a sort of waves. Just the natural things. So try that. That's it. But can you sustain more? Stand up for a sec, let me show you. Can you sustain more? Oh, that's a high chair. So really get in depth of your then you feel the continuation of the harmony, right? You want to hear that. So just feel that you're pushing the piano into the wall. There is not much room, but try. Good. So, and then, and definitely don't play that triplet note the same way like the 16th. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3. Sing it more. Just sing more that. Nice. Together. Good. Now we want to linger and hear go into the A sharp, but make sure you right. So you want to go more into the A sharp. Make sure we hear the middle voice here. Good. Much better. I would definitely think of this going more into the end, and then this continues after this harmony. So when you come to the major forte, you have see it as a fuller phrase all the way to there. Okay? Then you start something new. Good. From here. Together into the keys. Good. Good. Ta-dam, tiam. Don't rush the A sharp. Yeah. Just keep it tempo. So go from here. That was much better continuation. Don't rush that. Yeah, keep the same tempo. Stretch the sound. Yes, exactly. Because this is tension, and we want to keep that. And what is here? And then you can release the tension, right? Good. One more time. Again, long phrase. Good. And again, you have your right hand that it should have a continuation all the way there, and kind of the ostinato bass that keeps going, so the waves that they come. So we want to hear a lot of depth on the right hand and really beautiful shaping of the left hand. But that was very nice. Let's go on. let's think of something. Should we maybe, this is a ritenuto, we breathe, no fermata, and then ritenuto, fermata, before it starts. So see those two measures more as your last thing before you start your melody. So I would keep it going more, ritenuto, breathe, go, then you use your fermata. Then this fermata is going to have more impact. Try that. And again, a lot of relax your shoulders, really go into the key. Now think of ti-ram, ti-ram, bo. I want you to sing from the la. Ti-ram, bo. Good. Dim, bom. That's it. And keep. So you want to. Yes, because if you do that, then you might lose control. T. You kind of move it, but very small. Look. Because you want control the diminuendo. That's a difficult thing also in this piece. Now the last one has to be less. Tiam. That's it. Yes, yes. Good. Continue. 1, 2, 3. And now singing. Definitely more upper voice here. You want to get into our hearts and make them melt. We need to hear more of that. Really? I mean, pianist. So really sing into the upper voice. Nice. Good. Can you actually get us here? So really depth on that, but then don't accent that too much. This is your chord, and then so kind of this D sharp is coming out of the chord, and then like the wave that comes and then it comes again. So you really have to imagine, and then you have to think how you're going to do it with your hands, right? Sing. No? Yeah. But then even lighter at the end. Then breathe before you start the second phrase. Sing. Now into the ti. Good. Can I hear more of this left hand? So what I would work here is how you're going to manage your crescendo with the harmonic. I really loved actually your color here. That's beautiful. But then in general we'll have more of a something is happening, we're going into a mezzo forte. So make sure when you come here and then more. Okay, so we create this kind of, it's not static. Also, I would show more my left hand. More of this shape of the left hand. Make sure we hear it. Can you start from here? More depth here, definitely. You want to hear into the keys, into the key. Yes. Go into the keys. So because then we want to hear this with this F sharp and then with a G sharp. So make sure we hear with Scriabin. I mean, his music is so dense, right? He has so many voices. It's almost like playing Bach in the Romantic period. I mean, and we need to hear all of that because that's how he creates his harmonic and melodic language. And we need to hear the density in a simple way, yeah? Especially in this piece. So go ahead. Nice. I didn't hear the high G sharp. So just make it ring, and then sort of lay a beautiful bed where you're going to lay on. That's what this is, right? More B, a little more. That's it. And then, of course, the balance will be more into your B. Good. Let's go. Good. Can we create a little more momentum here with a crescendo? Also with to get here. Left hand, don't forget. It's important singing. And then more momentum with a crescendo. But also really bring out the harmonies in your left hand. Do not neglect that. So let's go here. Where do you want to play your G sharp? Okay, you have to persuade us that that's the way to so di-dum. Give me some pedal. Personally, tom or di-dum. It sounds a little bit like you didn't quite make it. So if you want to do it, listen, it's your interpretation. You can do that, but come to the G sharp really much softer then, in that case. Personally, I would play it together. Yeah, but obviously, not rigidly. And also the left. Yes. Yeah, really free. Good. That's it. Yes, that's it. That's the sound we want. That's fine, and that's fine too. Why don't really sing that? Rubato and I would bring those a little more the tenuto markings, a little thicker. Yeah? Try that. And legato, beautiful. Yeah, I get a little confused here as to what you want to bring. Or you want to bring... Okay, we need to hear that, and we need to hear very clear. Right? So be a little more with your shape of your right hand. Really sing that and shape that well. I want to bring a little bit before, just in the interest of time. Can you start here, where you start actually the middle voice? Yeah. Interestingly enough, he writes pianissimo on the top voice. Of course, very easy to say, right? Mezzo forte and the melody. So we really want to bring out, right? So I would practice really careful, really soft that, right? Can you play just the right hand once for me and just really think of your balance? But very beautiful legato, like a cloud that passes by or something. Good. But don't let the melody, you don't want to cut the shape of the melody. So don't let the technical element actually interfere with the flow, the melodic flow, right? So really lean on your thumb and everything. Good. Now play for me just the melody alone. Can you phrase it? Pretend you're just play it with any finger and just show me how you're going to, yeah. Beautiful. Now listen to that, have that in your ear and try to play it just like this when you add the other voice. Yes, much better. Yes. So my suggestion, really work in all of this actually when you have that. That's a beautiful moment. I mean, when he brings it in the middle voice, make sure you have really beautiful balance. It was a little bit, I heard it, but I would like it to be more singing. I would like it to be more effortless with everything else. But beautiful job. You're on the right track with this. And hope to hear you perform it one day, the whole thing. As far as the last one is concerned, I want you to think more about what do you need to bring out? What are the links that in all of this array of fast notes you have to actually shape in order to show a melodic continuation? And that's, again, practicing it very careful, bringing out what you need to bring. But great. Wish we had more time. Is it 109 or one? I'm just kidding.
Hi everyone, I'm Arpan. I'm playing the third movement of Beethoven's 30th Piano Sonata in E major, Opus 109.
here, but we have a time limit, so let's work after here. And it's so beautiful. I wish I could just hear it and not have to say anything, but I'm here to say something. So it's beautiful, beautiful work. And this, I mean, those last sonatas, the last 110 and then 111, they're becoming very personal. And of course, I'm glad you chose the third movement because that's very personal. So you're doing a beautiful job. We're just going. I mean, yeah, that's why we're doing this, so you can get it more secure. So I want to talk a little bit about his thinking, the way he forms the variations, the transitions from one to another. With Beethoven late sonatas, like I said, he gets very personal, but he always has something that he thinks of, he wants to write. But he puts his own pretty much personal feelings into his pieces. In this case, I mean, how would you say it's as Gesang voll mit innigster Empfindung? So very, very singing. He gets quite sentimental in his old age, as we say, right? What would you say, what is the indication of this piece? It starts kind of very choral-like, right? So what would you say reminds you of? Church, yeah, okay. Almost Bach, good. Any specific dance of Bach that you would think maybe because of the characteristic of this piece? I mean, we're kind of going into the second beat, right? Yeah. And again to the second. And what is the characteristic of a saraband? What is a saraband?
No, it's a French dance. Right?
No, something more sensual. Spanish, yeah. And it's actually, yeah, it's a Spanish dance between lovers, right? It's a beautiful dance. And I mean, this piece is dedicated, do you know, where did he dedicate this? One of his beloved, Maximiliane von Pendano, which he really loved. And I would say probably that's why this particular movement, it's about his love for her, and that's why the saraband thinking. So I think what we have to think, it's a couple of things regarding his indications. A, how we lean into the second beat. B, the Gesang fall, so we really need to think with very inner kind of sentiment. And C is andante molto cantabile ed espressivo. So he doesn't write adagio, he writes andante. So we need to feel the flow. So if you stand up for a sec, yeah? Oh, now you're sitting lower, okay. So make sure that when you go here, really lean, project nicely the E, beautiful balance with the B, but the left hand is moving into the two measures. So don't cut that, right? So, and that gives you the andante. So beautiful and simple singing with depth, with the movement of the andante, but not rushing at all, expressing your love for this woman. So let's start that. So with other words, don't start the first beat as is the beginning at the end, okay? Yeah. It goes somewhere. So show us where you're going. Yeah. Let's see. So I see that you're doing this. So my question is, maybe have your hands closed and then breathe into the note that goes there. So So practice a couple of times as you're beginning, go to the second beat, yeah? Yes. 1, 2. And just simple, keep it going. Legato left hand. Again, don't forget. I know we have more. Really make a looping around into the second. He writes something, actually, he wants to complicate our lives. He writes, so what, are we going to be pedantic about it? No, but I think he just wants a, it's how we're going to lean into that A. Yeah, but then don't accent it. It's very difficult. So make sure, just think more of. So I would practice it a couple of times, just that, and then sing. Yes. But without really losing too much. Yeah. So you have to somehow wiggle it within the. That's it. Go then. Nice. And go on.
One thing I'm struggling with is how much to make either
Time.
with the repeat.
You
and also
you
like
have
into the B major section.
you have to allow yourself to breathe. I think it's mostly about. I saw you rushing into that. There's no rush. If we give the flow, so we have to finish. Tia. That's all.
Can you hold the pedal down a bit longer? Keep the sound,
Here,
or you
stand
cut it
up.
short there?
Well, I'm not going to do a hiccup, obviously. So, I would change it right before the note. But I would make my hand breath just enough. I'm not going to rush. Okay, I have to play in time. You know what I mean? But just a nice arch into the next is what I call hand breath, breathing, and change the pedal right before. Don't cut it short, yeah? And be very careful when you hear, and here is where the instruments come. What I was talking about before is orchestra, right? So we have the A sharp goes to B. So definitely don't do that. But you want to hear this voice differently. Same with the bass, of course. Yeah, now, that's always how do we make diminuendo and play the chord, and we make sure we don't give an accent, but all of our notes are there. So this is something for me that's one of the hardest things that one has to really be careful. Place your fingers, and then with a nice depth, give the release. But make sure we hear it softer. Yes, go to the next one. Into the second beat. Sing the upper voice. Don't forget. Gesang, voll, yeah. Keep the line going. I will go. If you take too much time here, we take away from his character of going to the second beat. And now more thick and release. Good. And more into the keys. Really sing. Nice. And again, lean and Can you give a little more A? You heard it now. You sensitized your ear. Maybe I would give more. Drop your wrist, right? And then prepare with your pedal. And then really release. No, into. So push. Yes, like push. Yes. And now. And then you hear the full chord. Bad orchestra. Yeah, that was good. Molto espressivo. First, it was gesangvoll, so singing. Now, expressionful. Really sing the melody. The left hand has to be very boom, boom, boom. Yeah? So let's hear it. Do you want to do all of the grace notes on the beat?
I don't know.
It's...
People do it differently?
Yes, of course. I kind of like the idea, and actually, we had a discussion like this with my husband who played the Kreutzer Sonata, and many times we discussed, okay, how should we do it? However, we decided we never will do any two things the same. Right?
Opera singers don't sing in time.
So no, absolutely, and that's a singing. That's an Italian song, yeah. And you can start this with a. I kind of like that, even though. But then he has it many other times. That's why I'm asking. I personally would differentiate a bit, maybe here. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't do always the same, because once we heard something that's different, then we know it. Then it's not a surprise anymore. It can be a kind of kitsch thing. You know what I mean? Think about it. This is just interpretational thing that I won't tell you. But yeah, really sing the upper voice. When you come also here again, he writes his. I think when he does these slower or faster endings, it's more a way of him to show you that he wants us to know it's more singing, right? So let's try that. That's good, yes. That's it, go to the G sharp. Now a little more crescendo. Keep the crescendo, crescendo gradually. Left hand, bass. Good, good. Yes, continue for now. Make sure it's a release. And really sing. Right? We need to hear. So play maybe from number 2 now. Second ending. We don't want to play this like the Germans would say senkrecht. Yeah, you can make it simple. It doesn't have to be but. And here I would probably go into the upper note. Okay? Do that one more time. Can you phrase it more? Fa, mi, fa, sol, la, shi, rom, da, da. Di, rom. Go to the second note. Di, really sing. Keep the beat. Keep the. Good. What does mezza voce mean? What does that mean in here?
Like softer.
Okay.
Less expressive, less loud.
Okay. Mainly we're coming to an end. And that's what we want. But we don't want to drop completely and not give the depth. So still you have the soprano singing. Remember, that's an Italian song, right? Because we have to get to the end. Right? Can you play from here? So I still would give the depth and the ringing tone of a soprano singing here. More legato, the 16th notes. Horizontal. Good. Now, this one, of course, everything, again, we have all the orchestra being extremely well practice, having a good orchestra, all the instruments sound like one. However, we do want to bring the melody. So I kind of circle, I'm sure you know. However, I didn't quite hear it. And in your discrete style, the way you're going to play those notes, right? So we want to hear very faintly. You're not going to give an accent, but you will know those are my melody notes, my theme notes. Let's hear it. I would play, for example, this is not, it's leggeramente, this is not all of a sudden like not circus music. It still has a depth, right? So I would think, boom, 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 right? So close to the keys and still serious and intimate with bringing those notes and then controlling. So be careful how you approach intimate, serious singing. Fa, re, si. What do you do here? Give direction to the re, but in it sounds a little bit like one after the other. We don't have a purpose of the theme, and we need to have a purpose of the theme, right? More even. Don't rush, steady. Remember, you're conducting, right? So I would practice that slow, and I would really make sure that I hear maybe. Practice ones like that so you can really hear, you know what I mean? And then without really accenting them, but just hold them so you can see what's going on. This one, difficult, right? Again, here I'm going to say you're a conductor. You absolutely need to be. Also, the way it's written, I mean, one hand having the running notes. Here are your cello going crazy, right? Make sure that you give a nice beat. So when you are actually conducting with the other hand, depending on which hand is taking the 16th notes, make sure that very steady. Practice with metronome, this one. Even though Beethoven hated it, I would put it here. And also the articulation, I would practice, because it's for the, you want to create those Beethovenian fingers. So really strong, good fingers, right? And the next thing, this is like my favorite variation, especially when you come here. Be careful how you come to the transition, right? So bum, 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 and then dum, bum. Really, this variation starts from that B, okay? Can you play this last? Mm-hmm. Pa, 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 ta, ta, ra, rin. No, from la la. Pa, pum, 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 pum. Dum, 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 dum. Da, dum. That's a very weird transition, right? Good. Okay. Beautiful. And you were doing beautiful stuff with this here. I would, again, just really control the chords. Make sure you hear. Because this, it was a little bit, you know what I mean? Make sure those three notes are always. Very good question. A little bit for me, yes. Yes. Of course, you know, as I said, it's very personal, but I think always simplicity, especially in Beethoven's music. He wrote what he wanted. He's giving you everything he wants. Just follow that and put your personal touch. But I wouldn't, you know, yeah. Very good question. Very good. Beautiful.
Thank you all so much again. Thank you so much to Maria Asteriadou. Thank you so much for leading this class. Thank you to all of you who performed today. Again, I am Natasha Baramsky. I'm the Artistic Director of the New York Piano Society. Don't forget, October 6th, that's next Sunday, 2 p.m. You can find tickets at nypianosociety.org, or you can also follow our Instagram, nypianosociety. Thank you so much again to Klavierhaus, these magnificent pianos, to James Wu, to Sajachi Reisinger, and thank you again, everybody. Happy Sunday.